Apektado rin ng paghina ng piso laban sa dolyar ang serbisyo sa tubig na binibigay sa publiko. Para lalo nating maintindihan yan, makakausap natin ngayon ang Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System o MWSS Chief Regulator Patrick Lester Ty. Magandang gabi po, Mr. Ty.
Hi, magandang gabi po sa ating mga viewers.
Nakita kasi namin yung pahayag nyo kanina na posible ring maapektuhan nitong peso-dollar exchange rate, yung rates, yung water rates, ano po. Pero pakipaliwanag po kasi parang hindi pa naman agad yan mararamdaman. Paano po ba ang sistema?
Actually, I'd just like to clarify yung what's going around because medyo people were saying that there's going to be a significant effect. There's the rise of the dollar compared to the peso will have an effect, but it will not have a significant effect. Right now, kasi there was before, starting probably around 2001, there was this mechanism called the FCDA or the Foreign Currency Differential Adjustment. Ito po we removed this last year because we signed a new revised concession agreement. But the effective date of the revised concession agreement is still not here. It's not yet effective basically. So because of that, we are still accumulating the foreign currency losses of the two concessionaires because we removed it already last year in anticipation of the effective date of the revised concession agreement. So that's basically the background. Now, since the dollar appreciated significantly, there is some loss on the part of the concessionaires that they are supposed to be able to recover because we are still governed by the original concession agreement. So it will have an effect definitely, but it will not have a significant effect because what's going around lately is that because of the depreciation of the peso, the price of the water will be significantly affected. I just like to correct that mistaken notion.
When you say na hindi magiging significant, what do you mean, sir? In terms of amount,
the background
siguro.
is the FCDA it only handles losses that's incurred for the loans that are being paid for. So if the concessionaires are required or scheduled to pay a particular loan within the year, those are the only loans that would be covered by the foreign currency differential adjustment or any forex loss. So it's that portion only that will be affected. It's not the entire loan of the concessionaire. Normally the concessionaires are going to avail of foreign loans and they are allowed to pay this over a span of decades, probably around 10 to even 15 years. So the net effect of the foreign currency will be spread out over that 10-year period. And when we removed the FCDA last year, what we did was we did a transitory adjustment and we allowed the accumulated loss to be part of the original cash position that will be tackled during this rate rebasing. So that means that that loss, that foreign currency adjustment, will be spread out over a span of several years as well. So any effect of the forex will be mitigated by this spreading of the tranches over a period of time.
Pero
and
Mr.
this will mitigate the exposure.
Pero Mr. T, sa madaling salita po ba, mauuwi ito sa pagtaas po ng singil ng presyo ng tubig? Kasi sinasabi nyo, doon lang sa mga babayarang utang ng mga concessionaires for this year, parang gano'n, di ba? Kasi doon tataas doon magkakaroon ng impact yung pagtaas ng dollar, paglakas ng dollar.
That's correct. Based on our projections, it will have an upward adjustment, upward bias. So we expect that it will have it will cause an increase, a slight increase in the price of the water rates during this rate rebasing.
At pwede po yung ipasa ng mga concessionaire. So yung singil po mismo sa consumers, pwede po nilang taasan yon.
Yes, they can pass this on to the consumers because we are still governed by the original concession agreement. Once the revised concession agreement is effective, the two concessionaires will no longer be able to pass on any losses, any forex losses. But of course, the counterpart is any forex gains will not be also be able
Yes,
to
oo.
be passed on to the public.
Pero yung sinasabi niyong significant, parang insignificant na pagtaas, no? Sabi niyo hindi significant eh. May estimate kaya kayo kung magkano yan?
We expect probably in centavos. We don't have the exact figures right now because it depends on the end of the year how much it would be, how much loans have they paid. So they need to submit that to us. But for Maynila, I remember I had a meeting earlier today and I asked them about it. And offhand, probably it's around 25 centavos.
Per kilowatt hour?
Their current water tariff is around 36.5 per cubic meter. So the net effect for that during this rate rebasing is probably around 25 centavos.
25 centavos per cubic meter.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Pero
per cubic meter.
Yeah.
Per cubic
Pero
meter.
may nilad pa lang po yan, ano, yung sinabi nyo?
Yes, I haven't checked yet with Manila Water.
And then nakita ko lang sa statement kanina, if ever po, this will be effective January 1 sa pagpasok po ng bagong taon?
Yes, what we did when we removed the FCDA, we included all of these amounts we included all of this in the rate rebasing. So that it's an ongoing process right now. This is a rate rebasing year. This is done once every 5 years. So we started last March and we hope to finish this by next month or by November. So it will be implemented by January 1, 2023, the earliest.
Pero ang tanong ko po, just in case makarecover po tayo, no, yung piso against the dollar, tuloy pa rin po ba by January 1 yung pagtaas?
It depends again. We have to check because if there's any tranche payments that will fall due within the coming months, and so it will have an effect. But I don't have that data with me right now. But we don't foresee it to be significant.
Sir, puntahan lang natin yung ibang topic. Itong dahil dito sa bagyong Karding, meron po bang reports ng kung may nasira ng mga water facilities?
We checked recently and we're glad that there was no such report that there was no report that there were any damages to our water treatment facilities.
Yung isa pa pong topic, isigit ko na lang din, ito tungkol dun sa mga rehabilitation, yung pag-aayos ng mga septic tanks or sewerage na nabayaran na ng customers. Ano po yung status niyan? Na-check nyo po ba if yung may obligation talaga yung on the part of the water concessionaires na may ayos yan at ma-install?
Sorry, I don't get the question.
Yung meron pong mga kailangang inayos na mga septic tanks, ito po ba ay sa concessionaire side? At inako po ba nila?
Tanks
And
are
sewerage
owned by the residents. So it is the responsibility of the homeowner to maintain the septic tanks. It is the responsibility of the two concessionaires to have the septic tanks dislodged. So they are required to dislodge it once every 5 years. So we are encouraging everyone, all residents who have a septic tank, to have their septic tanks dislodged every 5 years. It's part of your bill already.
Okay. Pero na-check nyo rin po ba na nagagawa naman yan ng mga concessionaires yung pag-dislodge?
Yes, we regularly monitor it. Actually, our problem is most of the residents waive this opportunity to have their septic tanks dislodged. I think the acceptance rate right now is around 60%. So we're hoping to increase this by encouraging more people to have their septic tanks dislodged when they are already scheduled to have it dislodged. It's part of their bill. They have already paid for it. It's part of their environmental charge. So they don't need to pay extra for this.
Okay. Malinaw po. Maraming salamat kay MWSS Chief Regulator Patrick Lester Ty.